Aloha, everyone. Welcome to Hawaii Abroad Audio Podcast. I'm your host, Auntie Max, and today is Aloha Friday. It's the day of the week where you can sit back, relax, and listen as I interview former residents of Hawaii as they share their journey of relocating elsewhere and living abroad. In this episode, I'm talking story with a brave Kanaka wahine, now living abroad. I'm going to let her introduce herself and share how she became a resident of Gilbert, Arizona. So let's get right into the interview and hear what she has to share. Aloha, Michelle. Thank you for joining me today.
Mahalo for having me today.
So today I'm talking to Michelle Ehu Kekuewa Trejo. Did I get that right?
Trejo.
I'm sorry, Trejo, yes. Okay, well, Michelle, what would you like me to call you? Michelle, Ehu, up to you.
Well, everybody, a lot of people call me Michelle, but really family and how I grew up was with Ehu, so you family, right, already, so just call me Ehu.
Oh, mahalo nui. Mahalo, Ehu. Okay. Well, Ehu, before I get into my questions, why don't you introduce yourself, share a little bit about yourself, let us know where you're originally from, where you live now, and a little bit about, or as much as you want, about your journey and relocating away from Hawaii.
Okay. Well, as you said, my name's Michelle Ehu. Kekuewa is my maiden name, and my married name is Trejo. I am born and bred in Kaneohe on Oahu. And let's see, I live in Arizona now, Gilbert, Arizona. And I came here, 2000. And it's actually a really funny story how I came to be here. So I was married before to my first husband, and he's from Kaneohe as well. And his sister was getting married to somebody from here. So he came to the wedding and then came home. And this is literally the conversation. I'm not lying. It's word for word. This is how this went. Hey, babe, we should move to Arizona. The milk is only 99 cents. So then my response was, shoots. That is
right.
That's literally that was my response. So we had a 4-year-old and a newborn. Oh, yeah, a newborn. By the time we moved, he was 3 months old. And we actually found somebody in the military who was selling their move. So we bought their move from them because they had gotten out of the service, but they still had a move through the military. And so we bought that from them. Not hardly any money. I mean, it really wasn't a lot. And then we came up here to Arizona. No job, no car, no nothing, no money. And we're just determined to have a better life. We just had it in our mind that there was a better way to live. I mean, even way back then in 2000, we could tell that we just weren't gonna be able to buy an affordable home. And most of all, we were not educated at the time. And we knew that we would never be able to go to school if we decided to and work. And we knew we'd never be able to afford to put our children through college. And so, or our children wouldn't have opportunities to go to college because we could see the writing on the wall that early on that the cost of living was just too high already at that time in 2000. So packed up and we moved up here and began our life up here.
Wow. So it does sound like it was more about the economy in Hawaii.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was about the economy. It was about providing something better for our kids. And not to say Hawaii isn't better. That isn't what our focus was. Our focus, we came from two parents that my mom was a single mom, and his dad is a highly educated Samoan man, and but he was self-made. And so my mom was like, Ehu, no matter what you do, you gotta get an education. And the same thing from his dad, right? So we kind of had it in our mind, like, maybe that is something we should look into. And most of all, we wanted that for our kids, and we just didn't see too much of an option for them there at that time.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. I understand exactly what you're saying. First of all, you said you're from Kaneohe and I'm from Kaneohe, so that's probably why
Oh,
I'm thinking that somehow this lady looks familiar.
you probably see me walking the streets of Keahala Road.
Probably. That's probably it. Yes, yes.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Me and Mango Man.
Yep, the Mango Man. Is that what? Yes. So I'm pretty much every day. Yeah. But yeah, when you talk about the opportunities for us and for our children, that's really, really important. So I was wondering if you can share with us, maybe compare some of those opportunities that you guys was able
Oh, yeah.
to achieve there in Arizona compared to Hawaii.
Well, first of all, my then husband and me at the time, we both went to school, and he worked at the same time. We wouldn't have been able to do that in Hawaii and have been able to afford, anything. Um, I fortunately, because I'm Native Hawaiian, um, and a graduate of Kamehameha schools, I was able to receive scholarship and financial aid from them to that really, at the time, I was grandfathered in. They changed things where you had to be like midway through my schooling. They changed it where you had to be a resident of Hawaii at that time, but I was grandfathered in midway, so I could continue them. They were continued paying for my education.
Okay.
And so I had that, which is, I mean, I'm so grateful to actually to Auntie Bernice, Princess Pauahe, because she not only provided me my education at Kamehameha, but she also provided me my my collegiate education. And so we both went to school. We could raise a family. We raised our children in an environment that was I mean, they could see the sacrifices that we were making for education and the value of education. I mean, they could literally see the change in our lifestyle as a result of the education, right? So we were able to have primary incomes that support our home, buy a home, provide for our children, and they could see those things as well. And I think those things are not impossible in Hawaii, but they're more difficult to attain. I often think of that. Like, how would they do that? How would anybody do what we did back in Hawaii? We had 3 kids. You want to provide them a fairly good life. I mean, not to say while we were in school, I mean, we were eating chicken leg quarters, I think, for the whole time. And till this day, I cannot eat a chicken leg quarter. I can eat show you chicken. I can eat my chicken thighs. I can have deboned thigh meat, but you cannot put a whole chicken leg in front of me, or else I have like dry heaves, because I'm like, I don't ever want to see another chicken leg quarter for the rest of my life. But I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity if we were still in Hawaii.
I agree with you. It's so expensive. And yeah, 99 cents for milk. Yeah. In Arizona. My
Hey, you know what?
goodness.
At that time, it was 99 cents for milk, 99 cents a gallon of gas.
Oh my God. And that was back in
Back in
2000, right? So how is it now?
2000. Oh, we're at 5.70 a gallon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much everybody all around has gone
Oh
up. But
yeah.
how about the milk?
2.69 a gallon.
That's still great. In Hawaii,
Yeah,
you're lucky if you got $6 as discount a gallon.
terrible. How do you guys live there? I mean, how literally do people live? I'm actually moving my mom up here in October because she's gonna be 90 in December and I cannot take it. I don't want her there. I don't want her to worry about nothing. I don't want nothing. So I just told her, just come up here, mom. Don't worry. We have Korean soap operas here. Okay. Like you can watch your K drama. And we have, I get you all your food up here too, mom. Don't worry. And you just live your life out here, mom. I don't want you over there worrying about anything.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, I'm so happy that you was able to still get your scholarship while going to school, being abroad, and because I know of some people. In fact, when I first started this project, when I was just started with people, they had children after, they moved away and they had children. They're trying to put them through college, but they didn't qualify for any of those, let me say, Hawaiian agencies that have those scholarships that is available to the residents in Hawaii. So when you move, a lot of it you're not qualified for. And that's just very unfortunate. I think because of the way economy is and our people have to leave, why do they have to relinquish those benefits also?
It is. It's almost like a punishment for trying to find a better life. I hate to say that because that sounds so victimy, but I have always been very passionate about this subject actually, is because um I don't think that is right. I mean, I'm a born and bred local girl. I'm a native Hawaiian. Obviously, I went to Kamehameha schools. I mean, I born and raised Kaneohe. You know what I mean? Like it's unfortunate that that happened. And to be honest, my daughter is in her last year of nursing school, and she has to take loans. She got some Pell grants, obviously, but I I'm I was sickened that she could not have any benefit of Native Hawaiian scholarships when there are tons, and there are tons that do not get used. That makes me even more disappointed, and can see the broken system that's there. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that at all. I have my oldest son is just getting discharged from the military soon, so he's gonna have his GI Bill and he can use that. But I'm just thinking, okay, wait. And I have a middle child who's going to be going back to school and eventually here, and he. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point in time these scholarships open up. I do believe Kamehameha does have some for people who live in the mainland, but it's very far and few in between. And I do get it that they want to help support and keep the local people there and give them what they need, because I mean, cost of living is so high there. But there are so many unused scholarships. And I just think, you know, why can't all of the um Kanaka Maoli be able to use that? We should all be able to partake of that. I think they many times people overlook the fact that a lot of times when you leave the state and you're in these other states, you're even more visible to people. We're certainly not invisible out here. We're visible. And I think, gosh, how impactful would that be if we had educated Kanaka out here in the mainland, you know, finding their way, having primary income careers, things that could not be done back home in Hawaii, providing for their families, setting examples for their families. on gaining higher education, in gaining all of, different types of jobs and trades. And I mean, there are endless possibilities when you do leave Hawaii. And that doesn't mean that you aren't going to give back to Hawaii, because you're doing that every time you elevate yourself as a Native Hawaiian and showcase that, because our culture is so unique. And to me, just everything that couple that with education, and you're just an unstoppable force.
Totally agree. You hit the nail right on the head. When it comes to education, I mean, when we even look back in history, look at our monarchs, they left to go and get educated. They went on the ships, went afar to get educated. You get our people educated, then when they come back, they bring that benefit back to Hawaii. Yeah? And we can't tell whether they're going to come back or not, but why not support them while they're away? Why not?
I know.
So
I used to have a friend in high school. I always remember his name because it's after a ali'i, but his name is Jonah Kuhio Kalaniana Ole Kauwai. So Jonah and I were in American law together and in high school. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but we're in high school, we're 16 years old. We were talking about how laws don't get passed that benefit the Native Hawaiian. And both of us were like of this mindset, that's because we need to get educated and get into office. Then we're in the position to change the laws and advocate for the Hawaiian people. Until we do that, we're never going to be able to advocate. And that's in anything, right? That's one aspect, politics, but that could be in any large career. If you want change to happen in the healthcare industry for Native Hawaiians, you have to become a doctor, a nurse, something of that nature. Anything, education, whatever the trade or degree would be, we have to go in there and we have to represent. But we're never going to represent if we don't become educated.
You're so right. You're so right. So why don't we support our people to get educated, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Sometimes in college, in my senior year, I wrote a paper for, my minor is in Asian Pacific American Studies. So I remember I wrote this paper entitled "Not Just a Hula Dancer." That is and it was a paper about how, as Native Hawaiians, were always, and Polynesians as well, but I was speaking to my culture, Native Hawaiians, we're always looked at on an entertainment factor. So there's either in the hula for a female, and then football player for the man, or a musician, or we make really good food. And while all of those things are accurate, there is a whole nother side to who we are. And really it shouldn't be pigeonholed to just this piece. I mean, if we look at our ancestors, what did they do? They were navigators of the stars, and to this day hold the reigning crown of navigation. And so really that kind of says a lot about just our background, our heritage, and all of that. We were master agriculturalists, things of that nature. And so really, we're not just musicians, we're not just football players, and we certainly aren't just hula dancers. However, all those are crafts, they're art, they are to be respected and adored, but at the same time, there's a whole nother side that can be cultivated. And I think it's just kind of a missing piece. But I've seen, though, massive amounts of growth in this over the last 20 years. I mean, really, the resurgence of the Hawaiian language, the Hawaiian culture, all of the immersion schools that were created. I mean, like, really, or this generation now is probably the most educated they've ever been in our race. It seems like it's so delightful to see, and I just hope it continues. But there has to be an awakening that happens, that there are other Native Hawaiians just all over this country, and we need to support all.
Totally agree. Yep. Yep. I know education is very important. I mean, we are people that are very courageous, just like our navigators. You're very brave and able to take on those kind of challenges, and we move a lot to get educated. So yeah, let's support our people. But so I want to redirect a little bit and just ask you, when it comes to culture, is being away from home, from Hawaii, how is your culture practices? Are you able to do any type of practices, or share our values or anything when it comes to our culture living in Arizona?
I think I raised my children with Hawaiian cultural values. I think some of it gets lost along the way. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm just gonna be honest. Because you're not saturated in it like in Hawaii. I think there's always been a longing amongst my children, particularly, say we're watching Mary Monarca every year, and I think, for them, they're just like, oh, I wish we could be there. We wish we could see that all this, where it's everywhere in Hawaii. It's a part of life. My daughter always wished she could be in a halau in Hawaii and learn that. And but as far as, like, let's say the Hawaiian values in the home, like the values of taking care of your kupuna, sharing your aloha at all times. My children, I believe I was able to instill that with them. They all have extensive Hawaiian names that are very sacred in our family and to them. I've raised them with the general concepts, but as far as being, not there, it's hard. And I think, if anything, like, that's like the hardest part, right? Not being in the culture. I hate that they can't be around my Auntie Helene all the time, who is always passing down her mana'o to me, and just having those long dining room chats with your kupuna, yeah. Having the music around all the time, having the dance around all the time, and just seeing the difference. And they can see the difference. My stepson had his graduation party a couple weeks ago over here, and I mean, everybody knows they gotta take off their shoes when they come in my house. So it's 125 people up in my house with no shoes on. So I hope
It's
everybody left at the
automatic. Take off those slippers or shoes.
or shoes or whatever. Anyways, there was a friend of ours that came. She's from Hawaii, and my son noticed immediately. See what she did, is she comes in the kitchen. How can I help? What can I do? Here, let me do this. Let me take this. And what can I do? It just that's how it is in Hawaii. It's always, what can I do for you? How can I do for you? Not what can I have? And not any diss on any culture up here, because I came up here with a little bit of a sour attitude about haole, right? I mean, I'm born and raised in Hawaii. Man, you know what? Get plenty haole with plenty aloha spirit. If anything, I learned. And it's just different culture. It's just a different style, but it's inbred in us. It's there, yeah. Like, we're gonna give the shirt off our back. Like, we would never eat in front of somebody and not offer our food. And we're gonna let somebody go in the line in front of us if we're in a car and there's traffic, and yeah, go, and I miss that. That's what I miss. I miss the easiness of people. I miss that the simplicity of my people there, the welcoming aloha. I love, you know what I love the most, man, is like nobody complains. It doesn't matter what's going on too. They just, I love that about my culture. They're just happy. They're just happy. They don't complain. And if they complain, it's like joking. It's like in a joke form. So everybody's laughing at the same time. It's just, it's an easiness that you can't find anywhere else. And I think that's the aloha spirit that everybody's talking about when they go back. Yeah. You can feel it. And it's part of me. And I'm very, very proud of that. And so I've been able to capture that for the most part with my family as much as possible. But other than that, it's hard.
Yeah, I hear you. Micah, yeah, it sounds like you guys have that aloha. It's embedded in all of us, But yeah, being away from Hawaii, it is challenging to help. I mean, to continue to perpetuate things. But as long as you do it with that aloha, it'll all fall in place, It'll fall in place. And I think that's kind of what I was hoping to do with using this podcast as a voice and a platform to share those stories of people when they're away. And maybe there is people close by you that you guys can connect with, yeah, and start some kind of hui to help perpetuate our culture, because it's very important. And it's unfortunate that our people have to leave, especially when it comes to economy, but we still want to support them, yeah, out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a really big Hawaiian community here. We have this huge Aloha festival that just started back again. Before the pandemic, ooh, there's like 250,000 in attendance. I mean, it was, yeah, it's over a course of 2 days. So over a course of 2 days, they had that recorded. But I mean, it's been going on for years, right? And it's a big, huge deal. Actually, there's a girl in my neighborhood who's from Waimanalo who has a halal, full blown. I mean, she's a kumu, and I love that. I mean, she's all about it. She's everything authentic, the real deal. And so there's a few others that are authentic kumu here, and a few of my Kamehameha graduates live here, and I think it's a very rich Hawaiian community, but I'm not quite sure it's as pulled together as a unit as it could be. But when you come mainland, it's like more spread out, yeah, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like centralized like Hawaii, where everything, it's such a small island, it's so close, yeah. But out here, everything's so spread out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're very much here. And I just think that there's opportunities. There really are a lot of opportunities for Kanaka to come together and help one another.
Fabulous. It's wonderful, wonderful. Could you share with us some of your maybe fond memories from back home in Hawaii? I'm sure you got a lot.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, of course. I mean, like, what do all of us talk about when we move away?
The
The
beach.
food.
And the food. Yeah.
I mean, you can't, whenever it's late at night, I always think, I wish there was Zippies. Like, I was just back home. I could just go Zippies and eat something. So it's always the food, right? Like poke, like fresh fish, yeah. And poke, like how poke is supposed to be made, poke. And your,
Right.
my poi and
Oh gosh.
chili pepper water, and just, I don't know, just stuff from back home, like pork hash, manapua. I mean, just regular food, right? So I have manapua man talking to my friends about the manapua man, and then next would be beach. You don't realize how great the beach is there till you go to a beach in California, which is my only, my only options, right? So I love going San Diego and stuff like that, but it's so cold. right? The water has plenty of seaweed inside too. And so you don't really realize what you have until you leave. And the beach in Hawaii. I come up here, everybody goes camping in the mountains, and I'm like, ugh. I'm used to camping on at the beach, right? And the food tastes better at the beach. Sleeping tastes better. Sleeping is better at the beach. Everything's better at the beach. So the beach, and then the culture, everything cultural from back home. Doesn't matter what it is. I love live music. I miss going to like Waikiki and be able to see live music. I miss the flowers, the lei, that you can go buy lei in Chinatown. Anytime you need one. I miss hula. I miss all of that. The music. I mean, you can hear all the music on you can stream live, right? But it's just different when you're back at home. I think all of that. I hate being disconnected from. This is gonna sound so. Ugh, we have so many stereotypes, but I hate being disconnected from Kamehameha. I do. I hate that. You know, you cannot go. Sometimes I cannot go alumni week because I'm here and not there, and I have commitments here, and there's a lot that kind of stuff that I miss. I miss like my mom. Of course, she's gonna be coming up here, but I miss talking story with all the people there, like just talking story.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for spending time with me and sharing your journey and sharing all kind of stories about what you're going through. But before we end, I was wondering if you have any message that you want to share with our audience, especially our Kanaka, those that is maybe contemplating moving away from home or even did move away from home, or anything that you want to share. Do you have a message you want to share?
First of all, I guess you know what is that don't ever shortchange yourself or think that you can't do something. Like you just get out there and just really like just do it. Like you can absolutely succeed and provide like a wonderful life for yourself, and don't limit yourself. I think growing up, everybody always asks like what school you went, right? But you come in and nobody says that. They ask what college you went. And I think that we've always been kind of conditioned, like, oh, it's okay that you just you just accept whatever in lot is in your life. But you know what? You can do anything you want in this life. It's totally up to you. And I think that if you look at who we are as a people, how positive we are, what a light we bring, and the light that we share, coupled with just our kupuna, our ancestors, and where we come from in that way. I mean, my goodness, it's limitless, our opportunities and our options, if we just look for them and reach out for them and just keep trying. And if anything, remember, failure, when you fail, don't be afraid to fail, because failure means that you tried. And also there's so much lessons in that it isn't a failure. It's just a stepping stone, and just to keep going. And I mean, you're gonna do it, you're gonna make it, and it's sky's the limit, really.
What a wonderful message. Thank you so much, Ehu, for sharing that. And I do want to say that I can already feel that you do have that light and you are sharing that aloha spirit. And thank you for being a great representative of Hawaii while you're living away from Hawaii. So thank you. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And I wish you and your family all the best as you continue living away, and just continue living with that aloha. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo.
Mahalo to you, Maxine, and continue in these efforts. I I really just, my hat off to you for doing that and telling these stories, and just keep going, and let everybody hear about those who have gone on to forge on and take the Aloha spirit and take the culture and spread it all over, because I know we're all over the world.
Yes, we are. We are. And this world could use as much aloha as they can get, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Mahalo. Thank you again. Mahalo. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. I know I did. She's so akamai. I love hearing stories of Kanakas pursuing opportunities and succeeding in society. All I gotta say is holo mua. Keep moving forward and continue doing what you're doing. Mai ka'iloa ehu. Alright gang, it's time to hele. Let's go and have a mai ka'i day. But before you leave, make sure you rate this podcast and subscribe to the show so you can get early notifications when new episodes are being released. Remember, I have episodes released twice a week. So tune in for Hawaiian culture lessons on Mana'o Monday and personal interviews of former Hawaii residents on Aloha Fridays. All right, everyone, have a great weekend. This is Auntie Max signing off. Aloha.